Oshiomole created huge odds against himself with his unguided utterances. The embattled APC national chairman pushed himself deeper into a huge odd position, following his unguided utterances over the recent Supreme Court judgment on Bayelsa. His several statements following the judgment, which sacked the APC governor-elect David Leon on the account of his deputy certificate forgery case, has placed the APC in a bad light as a part of destabilization, especially when Oshiomole utterances resulted in the violent protests in Bayelsa immediately after Diri Doye got his certificate of return that had to be stopped by a 3-day curfew imposed by the police. Oshiomole has been unstopped in his denigration of the Supreme Court and the INEC. Since this occurrence, the call for Oshiomole to be removed as the party national chairman has grew to a never-imagined level. Considering this against the BC Akonde's committee, which as part of its major responsibility, the settlement of the Edo State APC crisis, Oshiomole has unknowingly created a big odd against himself. It should be noted that Oshiomole was going into this reconciliation section with a suspension hanging on him, and now he has added a national call for his removal to his in his attempts to show that he's is a fighting national chairman for the party's interest with regards to Bayelsa judgment, which was very clear and without ambiguity. For the contending factions in Edo APC crisis are majorly Governor Obaseki leading the APC Edo State Executive and Oshiomole leading some disgruntled faction of the Edo State APC. Though many have tried to adduce many extraneous reasons for the disagreements and conflicts, the bottom line is and has been Godwin Obaseki's refusal to crown Oshiomole the godfather of APC policies in Edo State. And interestingly, Oshiomole himself has severally boasted of having fought Godfather to no existence in Edo State when he was the governor for 8 years. Based on this, he has been attempting to use his power as the national chairman of APC to undermine Obaseki's desire for a second term ticket from the party. Now Obaseki is going into the reconciliation section with the BC Akonde's committee, a winner and a question over whether he will get a second term ticket is no more debatable, because Oshiomole needs the Edo State support to be able to fight any battle. If there will be chance for such at the national to sustain himself as the chairman of APC beyond this present time, at the state of this Oshiomole and Obaseki's fight, some have warned that Oshiomole was embarking on a journey of self-destruct. That was because Obaseki is a sitting governor and will sure get all the APC's governor's support as to cut the overbearing power of the national chairman from having excessive control over the party structure at the state level and thereby undermining the power of the governor, who is hitherto the leader of the party at the state level. Obaseki has not only gotten the support of the governor, but Oshiomole has been making matters worse for himself and better for Obaseki by each day. Oshiomole is currently only having behind him the unhappy governorship aspirants in Edo State that he had earlier deceived with the promise of the governorship ticket. The worst hit among them is Eze Yamu, who was the front runner governorship aspirant for the PDP, but who out of greed went with Oshiomole's deceit and is now fighting to be admitted into the APC. So why Oshiomole and team are greatly disadvantaged before the BC Akonde's committee? One hopes that Obaseki, when he's finally given the ticket, considers one of the Oshiomole's governorship aspirants as his campaign DG. In my opinion, they all have their faults. They all have their faults because a lot of people are coming out to say, oh, Obaseki is biting the hands that fed him. You know, when Shaibu came, the deputy governor came out and crying out that Oshiomole used and dumped him. A lot of people came for him. Oh, why would you be saying that? Even the position you are holding is was as a result of a Oshiomole and what have you. Go back to the Obaseki too. Some people are saying, oh, he's doing more than, or is biting more than he can chew. Coming back again to Oshiomole, Oshiomole has his own faults. One of the things that that would be working against Oshiomole is the way he talks, the way he carries himself, the way he does things. And I could remember there was a time the national chairman, the former national chairman, Paoyegun, there was this I don't know whether it is misunderstanding or kind of drama too. But at the end of the day, the man came out that Oshiomole, he, he talks before he thinks, which is supposed to be that you are supposed to think before you talk. But Oshiomole, he said Oshiomole just his government or his administration is just like a Agberu sort of. A lot of people have been complaining. I could remember vividly the way and manner at which he went with Saraki that time, and the way as soon as he came into the office, he was just talking. He does not really control his emotion. He does not control his utterances and what have you. And those are the things that are always putting him, in that bad light. He's outspoken, but that is being outspoken. It would have been more advantageous to him if really he could really coordinate himself, if he can still coordinate himself very well, because the way he makes some utterances, and those are the things that are really working against him. Coming back to this godfatherism and what have you, everybody knows what he's playing at. Even if Oshiomole comes out today to be denying it, which he has been denying, that he does not want to be a godfather and whatever, what do you want to do? And because for the fact that he has gotten this the position of being the national chairman of the party, to a very large extent, you might want to do some things indirectly. Everybody knows that, because if really you just want to be yourself, because the manner at which he even he brought Obaseki, a lot of the party members did not even like it. He himself knew. It's like he just forced Obaseki on them, and that is just the fact. He forced Obaseki on them, and like I always say, all of them, even the ones that are trying to sing the praises or the faction of a what is it called, Obaseki too. Like Shaibu was telling the whole world, crying out, Obaseki, Oshiomole used and dumped him. The same thing. Are we not sure that tomorrow we will not see the same thing about Obaseki, because they know their secrets, and that was what they are using against, because they know themselves, and that is why they are working against Oshiomole, because they knew the same thing he did. They knew all their plans and what have you, because Oshomole was always coming out to say, oh, I did this to the godfathers in Edo State, I whatever. He was boasting. And of course, they know what they are doing. They know themselves. They know Oshomole's capability. And that is why they are just like, they are tackling him every nook and cranny. And what is still going to work against Oshomole is even at the national level. Before the 2019 elections, a lot of people came out, they were against Oshomole. That is the way it is. And like I said in one of my videos, that the hand that is still holding Oshomole is still strong, because from all indications, Oshomole would have been a gunner. He would have gone. But I think there's something there, the reason why he has not really been able to leave that office. There's something, all of them, even at the federal level, all of them, they have secrets, because there's a conspiracy in this country that is making this country not to move forward. Do you see what we are even tackling or battling with? They are just fight here and there, fight here and there. And the main issue that that brought them into power in the first place, they're not going about all of those things. Who gets what? Who gets this? Who gets this? You can imagine even the screening from the APC concerning what happened in Bayelsa State. See the way it just brought embarrassment, huge embarrassment to them, and they are not talking about that one. So Oshomole, like I said, they all have their faults. They all have their faults in the first place. The only thing that even hurts me is that with all of these things, had it been they are doing all of this is because of the masses, or because of they want good development in the states or at various states and in the country at large, it would have been a different ballgame entirely. It would have been a different thing. But what we have is not all about the people, it's all about them. And that is where the problem lies. Whether Oshomole is faulty, is the fault of Oshomole, or is the fault of Obaseki, or BC Akode's committee, or what have you, or what anybody is trying to bring out. But one thing that is supposed to be pertinent is that is the welfare of the people and the development of the country. If all of those are out of this equation, we are going nowhere. We are deceiving ourselves. We are just going to be helping these people to be getting what they want, getting their own position, and what have you. The nitty-gritty of the job, of the reason why they are doing this, is supposed to be for the masses, but it is out of the offing. So where does all of this leave us as a people? It is all about them, because tomorrow now you will see them coming back again, be friends. Just imagine the Eze Yamu that Oshimole bastardized with all manner of things. See the two of them, but I don't even know how Eze Yamu is going to even survive with the way Oshimole is trying to bring him in. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. Someone says here that the writer is biased against Oshomole. The APC chairman has done very well since he came on board, having to contend and curtail the bad tendencies of some governors and party leaders who see themselves as demigods who must at all times be obeyed. It is this set of people, which included Obaseki, that are troubling the party. That's what somebody's saying there. And there is a response to this comment. This one says, you will always praise him as one of his loyalists, even if it is clear to you he's drowning with his utterances. Yes, Oshomole, like I said, they all have their faults. That's my opinion. They all have their faults. But in as much with all of this, they are just doing not because of the masses themselves. That is their own cup of tea, and it is detrimental to the masses. But one thing that is pertinent, of course, you cannot say Oshomole has not done one or two things, but his utterances and the way he conducts and coordinates himself, that is where what is bringing him this whole thing. And they all know their secrets, because Oshomole will be coming out and be boasting, oh, I fought godfatherism in Edo State and what have you. And like I said, even if he likes to, if he denies it from now to eternity, it is known that he wants to form his own dynasty. He wants to be godfather, whether by directly or indirectly, and which all his boys, they know quite all right. They are aware of it, and that's why they are like, every corner that he goes to, they always get him there. They just want to bring him out and what have you. So people who are always see supporting politicians and what have you, you are just deceiving yourselves, because these people don't have your interest at heart. They just want to use anybody. If Oshomole can go back and be bringing to himself Ize Yamu, so what do you think? What do you make of that? Because they are just there for themselves. They are just there they can use anybody, in as much they will get whatever they want, and that's it. They can use anybody. Don't forget their statement. No permanent friend or enemies. Permanent interest is what matters to them. What matters to them is their own interest. So guys, let's hear your opinion concerning what is happening. Leave your comments below and let's have your take. Thank you.